Thank you very much. Please be seated. Thank you very much. Waziri Deborah Baraza, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Health, Kenya, heads of delegation here, the CDC Deputy Director, the WHO Country Director, Amit, and my good friend Emmanuel, and all attendees. Good morning. Let me begin by saying that I'm happy to be together with you today. I do not intend to take up much of your time. It's not my business to take up your time. You are the guys who are planning for the future. We have done our part. So ninimalize niende nikafanya yangu ya nyumbani na nyinyi muendelee. But let me begin by appreciating through you, Dr. Davis, the University of Nebraska and your entire team for inviting us to come and join you and to give some of our perspectives that could hopefully give our continent the ability to take charge of its health sector in collaboration with other international organizations, but more importantly with our own organizations such as our Africa CDC, as is represented here. And I'd like just to go back a little bit and recall the year 2020, which was the beginning of a very difficult time for us as a country, for the world, but also for me individually. When our world basically came to a standstill, taking everybody by complete surprise and forcing nations to begin to ask themselves when this pandemic would actually arrive at our respective doorsteps. As president at the time, and in consultation with my cabinet, we found it prudent, well before the disease was found within our borders, to set up the National Emergency Response Committee on Coronavirus. The role of this committee, chaired by the then Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe, was to help steer the country and to navigate the uncertain season with an emphasis on coordinating capacity building of medical personnel and other professionals to enable our country to respond quickly and effectively to any suspected cases or outbreak of the virus that would occur or could occur at that time anywhere in the Republic. Other roles of this committee included enhancing of surveillance at all our points of entry, preparation of national and county private isolation and treatment facilities, because we began by having immediate sessions, and I convened an immediate session with the Council of Governors to work on this. We began to coordinate the supply of testing kits that would be critical, looking out for medical products, supplies, pharmaceuticals, and masks, and other protective gear that were available within the Republic, as well as identifying isolation and treatment facilities, as you heard a little bit from Amit, who spoke before me. And all this we did knowing that sooner or later we would be confronted by the coronavirus. And all these measures we put in place in the month of February 2020, and indeed, as fate would have it, on the 13th of March the same year, we got our first ever COVID-19 case, a 27-year-old woman who had just traveled to Kenya from London. This, ladies and gentlemen, marked the beginning of a long year, not only in the health sector, but throughout all sectors of Kenya's economy. It affected us economically, socially, and as all of you know, our Kenyan culture is founded on community, on gatherings, and these, unfortunately, became the first casualties. For we had to ban all public gatherings. We did initially give reprieve to churches and businesses at large because we were worried about what would happen to all those who were employed and working in these various sectors. But again, unfortunately, within no time, it became impossible to keep that going. And we had to pull the plug totally on all in-house kind of gatherings and proceeded to institute a total lockdown of the country. This was a very bitter pill for Kenyans to swallow.